We're gonna take out Marie's 1200 low and see how she does. So as we head down the driveway, we're going to come to New Schaeferstown Road. We're going to turn right on New Schaeferstown Road, and that is going to head us down towards Blue Marsh Lake. As I roll through the gears here, it really is a smooth running machine. It shifts nice. It's a comfortable ride. Your legs are stretched on the forward controls. So this bike is set up very similar to the original bike that my wife rode on. She had started primarily on a Suzuki Savage 650, and it did have forward controls, but it was a single cylinder motor and a really light bike, so she'd get pushed around a little bit by the wind. So finally convinced her to move up to this 1200 Sporty. This is the 1200 low. It's a 2009, and that really felt very similar to the one she was on. So she only rode this up the alley from the person we bought it from, the alley behind her house, and she rode it in the parking lot at the school above our house. So we were just kind of waiting for warm weather to test this bike, and I always like to test them first, before she gets out there on a longer ride. So that's what this ride represents, is me just going through the gears and making sure the brake and the motor and everything is running fine. It only has a little over 5,000 miles on it. Now this intersection we're coming up to is Route 183. Route 183 north bears off to the left, but we are heading on 183 south towards Blue Marsh Lake. I just want to go down there, and we had an awful lot of rain, so I want to see how high the lake level is, because the sooner the lake reaches its summer level, the sooner they can put those docks in. So that'll be helpful. We are coming up on a store on the right hand side. There's a grocery store here, a hardware store, and the very last building is a restaurant, and the owner of that restaurant used to fly airplanes with me out of Reading Aero Club years ago. This is north of Berks County, north of Reading, Pennsylvania, about 15 miles or so. Kind of give you an idea of where I'm riding right now. My daughter lives out in Bernville, and I was boondocking there in my trailer, so I want to check it out. The Redner's on the left here in Bernville. They're redoing that store, but this is Bernville. These towns are really small up here. They're not very large. So you can see it's one or two road town, not even a stoplight on the main drag coming through here. But we're continuing south on 183, and I got to tell you, this bike is fuel injected, so I didn't have to mess with a choke or anything, and it wasn't bucking or giving me any problems at all when I was riding it. So I'm really pleased with this bike. I put a couple of accessories on. If you watch the video on the review of the 1200 low, you can see what I did to it. But it's a beautiful blue bike, and just runs really, really nice. Now I caught up to this group of bikers that were in front of me, and of course they had their music playing, so it was kind of enjoyable to ride behind them. I didn't want to crowd them. Okay, here I am. Now Blue Marsh Lake has 3 boat ramps. Any luck out there? Any luck out there? Were you just guy? Nah. Looking forward to the docks going in. As you can see, close to Bernville is an access point for boats for Blue Marsh Lake. This is up in the no-wake zone. So Blue Marsh has 3 boat ramps, 2 of them by the Corps of Engineers, or maintained by the Army Corps of Engineers. And this particular ramp is maintained by Pennsylvania Fish and Boat Commission. So I do know that at the end of March they're putting the docks in. The Corps of Engineers is going to put their docks on the main lake. I'm not sure when Pennsylvania Fish and Boat are going to put their docks in. So now we're heading back to my daughter's property north of Bernville. So I'm on 183 north, and you can see we're passing bikes. It hit 60 degrees today. So for Pennsylvania, you know, when it gets above 55, people start to ride. This turn to the left heads to Kozar's Christmas Village, which is a real big tourist destination at Christmas time with lots of Christmas decorations and lights. So that intersection actually gets really, really dangerous in the wintertime when there's a lot of traffic trying to make that turn. So you do have to be careful on this road. This barn on the right hand side, I just love the look of this. There's a baseball field behind it. I always think about, you know, someone making a country music album. This would be a good place for the picture for the album cover. I just enjoy and admire that property as I drive by. You can see a little bit of the field there to the right behind there. And then this is a typical farm in Berks County where we live. You know, we see these types of farms, a really big barn. The barn is generally larger than the home, and a standard typical farmhouse that you see in Berks County there on the right. There's 183 north on the right hand side, and we're continuing on New Schaeferstown Road. Now I'm bearing off to Main Street. This is New Schaeferstown Road, and this is the town. So you're going to see New Schaeferstown is, you know, rather small. This Schaeferstown area is, you know, just one drag going through here, one main road, 25 mile an hour speed limit. You know, and it's just a typical village. To me, it looks more like a village than a town. But you'll always find in these small towns friendly people, always willing to help you, you know, and give you a hand if you're not quite sure where you're going, or if you would break down. In this area, you don't have to be afraid to knock on the door and ask for help. So these are nice towns, and just past this town on the left-hand side, you will see Tulbahawken area school district's high school, and they, by the way, that building to the left was my dance instructor. Marie and I took some dance lessons. She has a big studio in the back. Okay, so now we've just come back out to Route 183, and we're going to continue on 183 north and make our way back to the property. And here we are, coming up the driveway. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. It's free. It helps a lot. So ring that bell and you'll be notified every time I put up a new video, and give the video a thumbs up. But more important than all that, make sure you go have some fun out there. Thanks for watching. No trip's complete without either a ride on a motorcycle or a ride on a boat.